As we head into Wednesday evening, rain and wind are already building as Tropical Cyclone Alfred approaches southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales. Let's take a look at the latest warning situation, as well as what we can expect over the coming days, particularly around coastal crossing and beyond. Tropical Cyclone Alfred is currently a Category 2 system located around 300 kilometres to the east of Brisbane. A tropical cyclone warning is current for communities between Double Island Point in the north and down towards Yamba and Grafton in northern New South Wales. And this includes the Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, the Gold Coast and the New South Wales Northern Rivers. This is for the imminent onset of gale force winds. Into Wednesday night and Thursday, we'll see these gale force to damaging winds extending into coastal areas, as well as heavy rainfall and significant coastal erosion due to damaging surf and abnormally high tides continuing. Then, by Thursday night, impacts are expected to ramp up quite significantly, with the potential for destructive winds, intense rainfall leading to life-threatening flash flooding, and a dangerous storm tide causing coastal inundation of some of those low-lying suburbs. Then into Friday, the latest track map does show Tropical Cyclone Alfred crossing the coast during Friday morning, but the exact timing of landfall will depend on how quickly it does approach and then move onto the coast. Regardless of the exact timing of the landfall, we can expect to see significant impacts well before landfall for many hours. And then heading to the rest of Friday, Tropical Cyclone Alfred is expected to be downgraded back into a Category 1 system and then a tropical low into the weekend. But we are still expected to see significant impacts all the way into Saturday, especially on the southern side of that tropical cyclone. This part of Australia is used to seeing severe thunderstorms in the spring and summer, and these of course can bring bursts of heavy rainfall and damaging to destructive winds. The difference though with the tropical cyclone is that wind and rain are sustained over many hours, and this can cause significant damage to property and vegetation, and of course cause life-threatening flash flooding. If you're away from the tropical cyclone warning area, we do also have a severe weather warning that extends all the way up to Gympie and down towards Coffs Harbour and the mid-north coast in New South Wales. Through these areas, we may also see damaging to destructive wind gusts, as well as heavy to intense rainfall. And through this area, we may see 24-hour rainfall totals of between 200 to 400 millimetres, depending on exactly where Tropical Cyclone Alfred does cross. With the potential for heavy rainfall, there are a number of flood watches current across both Queensland and northern New South Wales. This is for the potential for widespread moderate to major flooding, particularly from Thursday night, and this could impact major population centres across major rivers. Finally, there is also a coastal hazards warning that extends all the way from Gari, Fraser Island and down towards Forster on the mid-north coast. We are seeing damaging surf push onto the coast, leading to significant coastal erosion, as well as abnormally high tides. And as Tropical Cyclone Alfred moves even closer to the coast, these will both be exacerbated, and we will see even more significant coastal erosion, particularly as the storm tide moves onto the coast closer towards that coastal crossing. Next, let's look at what we've seen so far today. Tropical Cyclone Alfred is spinning off the coast, as you can see in this satellite imagery, and it has developed a little bit more of a symmetrical shape over that warm water off the coast of Brisbane. Today, we have seen rainfall totals in excess of 50 millimetres for some parts. There's also some very strong winds in excess of 100 kilometres an hour at Cape Byron, and we're also seeing those winds increasing across southeastern parts of Queensland. Let's take a closer look now at what we can expect closer to landfall. And these are looking at the winds at around 1,500 metres above the surface. We can see here the centre of the cyclone and those very strong winds wrapping in a clockwise fashion around the tropical cyclone. As the system draws closer to the coast, we'll start to see those damaging to destructive winds push onto the coast, particularly around the Gold Coast and the northern parts of New South Wales. Thursday night is when we start to see the worst of those winds coming through. But importantly, as we get closer towards that crossing, we will see a period of calmer winds right in the centre of the cyclone. During this time, it will be very dangerous to go outside, because as the system does move further away, we will see those winds coming from the opposite direction very, very quickly. So we'll see that again, we'll see it pushing through there with the centre of the cyclone being quite calm, and then the stronger winds coming through from the opposite direction, which can cause very dangerous conditions. In terms of rainfall, rain will really start to build during Wednesday night and Thursday as the showers push onto the coast, and that will mean the ground will become quite wet and ready for that flooding to come through. The heaviest of the rainfall will come through as the cyclone crosses the coast. As you can see here, the heaviest rainfall is expected on the southern flank of the tropical cyclone. Rainfall totals will be very high on the southern flank of that system, and looking out to Saturday morning, we can expect to see widespread rainfall totals in excess of 100 millimetres all the way from the Sunshine Coast and down towards the mid-north coast. But around the Gold Coast and the southern areas of that crossing, we may see those totals reach in excess of 400 to 800 millimetres with high isolated falls likely. So as Tropical Cyclone Alfred approaches the coast tonight and over the next few days, it is important that you have the latest information from the Bureau. You can get that from the website or the Bomb Weather app. Follow us on our social media, and of course, follow all advice from your local emergency services.